Good morning students. So in the last video we have learnt about the user user defined function and the built-in functions we have learned, isn't it? No. So today we are going to see the other two types of functions, that is lambda function and the recursive function. So there are four types of functions in Python. So we have learnt about the user defined function and the built-in functions. So the other two functions are what you have going to see today, lambda functions and recursive function. Okay, so let us see the lambda function now. So for what purpose we will be using this lambda function? So lambda, okay, so lambda function, and the next one recursive function. Okay, so lambda function and recursive function. So the word lambda, so that is anonymous function we say. So for what purpose we are using this is, so if, when you are writing a program for the particular time or for the particular instance only, you are going to create a function. Okay, so for that purpose we will be using this lambda function. This lambda function, it doesn't have any name, so that's why we call it as a anonymous function. Okay, so when you are writing a function at the particular instance, if you want to create a function, then we can use that. Is it must also be a small function. Okay, so for that purpose only we will be using the lambda function. Okay, so in this for general function, what is the syntax for the general? That is user defined function. For user defined function, you will be having DEF. Isn't it? So DEF, that is definition. So DEF will be the keyword, and then you will be giving your function name and then your arguments or parameters, and then you will be having your code, isn't it? So this is the syntax for the user defined function. But for the lambda function, you will not be using the keyword definition. Instead of that, you will be using lambda. Okay, you will be using the keyword lambda. So for lambda function or anonymous function, what will be the keyword? Lambda. So arguments, bracket, you will be having the argument. You can have one argument or more than one, means arguments, and then a colon symbol, and then comes the expression. Okay, so maximum, as it is a small function, so lambda or anonymous function is used for small functions only. So therefore we will be having the keyword lambda, and then comes the argument, and then we will be having the expression. Okay, so for how it should calculate, so that what value it should calculate is given as the expression. So this is the syntax for the lambda function. So let us see an example. So if I am having in a variable multiply mult is equal to, I am creating a function lambda, and then I am giving two arguments, that is I am going to multiply two arguments, therefore argument 1 comma argument 2, and then I have to give the colon expression what I am going to perform. So argument 1 star argument 2. Okay, so this is my lambda function. So in a variable mult, I am using lambda, that is the keyword, and I have given two arguments, argument 1 comma argument 2, and then the colon, and then I have given the expression that it is going to multiply just the two values. Okay, so now what will be the, now I am giving a print statement. So print output of two number, okay, or multiplication of multiplication result is equal to, and then I am giving comma MULT, okay, and then bracket I am giving 5 comma 2, and next I am giving another print statement, result is comma, I am using this MULT, bracket I am giving 25 comma 4. So this is the simple Python program with 3 lines. So first I have given a variable mult, in that I have created a lambda function, and then I am using two print statements. So first one I am going to multiplication result. So as it is in the within the quotes, it will be displayed as such, and I have given the variable for which the lambda function is assigned. Okay, so mult comma, it has two arguments, therefore I am giving two values 5 and 2 within the bracket. And next also I am using another print statement, and I am printing result is, so as it is inside the quotes, it will be displayed as such, and again I am calling the function which has been assigned to a lambda function, so that variable mult, and in the bracket I am giving two argument values 25 and 24. So for this the function has been created, and then I am using it for two simple purpose. Okay, so now what will be the output of this lambda function? So what is the output? Multiplication result. Okay, I am given, and then I have given 5 comma 2. So what it means do? Argument 1 star 2. So 5 into 2 is 10. And the next print I have given as result is, so result is 25 comma 4, that will be 100. Okay, so just first this for argument 1 5 is taken, and for argument 2 the value 2 is taken. So it will multiply those two and give the value as 10, and in the second one I have given 25 comma 4. So therefore argument 1 takes the value 25, argument 2 takes the value 4. So therefore that is multiplied, and I have got the result as 100. Okay, clear? So this is the lambda function or anonymous function. So this function, where we will be using this function for simple purpose for simple function concept only, we will be using this lambda function or anonymous function. Also in Python, we will be using this function with some functions like built-in functions like filter, map and reduce. Okay, but these three functions are given in are not included in your syllabus, but in the Python language when you learn in detail, it will be you will be learning that. Okay, so like filter, map and reduce, with these three functions also the anonymous function or the lambda function is used. Okay, so next we will see about the recursive function. So now we are going to see the recursive function. So you have learnt already this recursive function in 11th standard. Okay, in C++ program you have learned this concept, recursive function. So what do you mean by recursive function? A function that calls itself. Is it called recursive function? So recursive function is a function that calls itself. So you know very well, you have learnt in the 11th standard, the same concept only you are going to learn here also. So in Python, how we will be using that? Okay, so recursive function you know very well. So for when a particular set of loop statements or a particular block of statements is going on executing, so where it will be going in executing in an indefinite manner, is it no? Say if I am giving if I am giving sum is equal to 0, consider sum is equal to 0 and I am adding sum is equal to sum plus I, and I will be giving here I is equal to I plus 1. Okay, so when if I am giving the condition as I greater than 1, okay, if I greater than 1, sum is equal to 0, sum is equal to sum plus I is equal to I plus 1. If this loop gets executed, for how many times the loop will be going on executing? So first sum is equal to 0, 0 plus 1, 1. Again I is equal to I plus 1 means, so first if I am having I is equal to 1, okay, then I is equal to 1 plus 1, 2, I greater than 1. So it will be going on calculating, because I have given the condition as I greater than 1. Okay, so this will be an indefinite loop, so it will be going on executing. So we want to have a condition where the loop, indefinite loop has to be stopped. So for that purpose only we will be giving here when I less than 10. If I am giving here, the loop will be executed up to the value I is equal to 9, isn't it? So in the same this condition, no, for when the loop gets executed, when I am giving a condition, up to that condition only the loop will be executed. So that is called the base condition. Okay, so what is it called? Base condition. So when I am giving in a recursive function, if you are giving a loop, if you are giving a condition, then it is called the base condition. So up to that condition only that loop will be executed. If I am not giving that particular base condition, then it will be going on executing and it will become an indefinite loop. Okay, so now we are going to see the recursive function. Okay, so for the recursive function is a function, it calls itself, it must have a base condition, it will be executed up to it reaches the base condition. When it reaches the base condition, it will execute the output and it will exit the loop. Okay, and the third one, if the base condition is not reached, it will be going on getting the value and it will going on doing the iteration and the loop will be executed indefinitely. Okay, so now let us see an example program in Python for the concept recursive function. So I am having a function definition, user defined function. So fact of n. So if n is equal to 0, then return 1, else return n star fact. Again I am using the same function. So fact of n minus 1. Okay, now I am printing the function. So print fact of 5 and next print fact of 3. Okay, so consider this the Python code. So I have given definition fact. So I am having a user defined function fact with the argument 1. Okay, I am having only one argument. So I have given the name as n. So if n is equal to 0, then return 1. Okay, so if n has the value 0, it will return 1. That is, output will be 1. If the else, it means if the input is not 0, then if I am giving any values, then what will it do? Return n. What is the value of n? What I am giving the value? It will be, again we are calling the same function. So this is called the function with calls itself. So this is a function. Within that function I am calling again the function. This is called the recursive function. So what will be the output for me? So consider what will be the output. So first I have given a function and the function finished here, and then I am giving print fact of 5. Now this value 5 will be passed to n. So n has the value 5. So what will be the value? So n is equal to 5. So if n is equal to 0, return 1. So n is not equal to 0. So it will come to the else part. In else part, what I have given? First n. So what is the value of n? 5. So 5 star. What is the value? Fact of n minus 1. So n minus 1 means n minus 1 is 4. That is, again it will go here. 4 means it is not equal to 0. Again it will come to the else part. So now what is the value of n? What is the value of n? N has the value 4. So now 5 into 4, and next 4 into again fact of n minus 1. Now n has the value 3. So into 3, again n minus 1, n becomes 2. So n has the value 2. Again n is equal to 1 into 1. Now n gets 0, isn't it? So n is equal to 0 means it will get what? It will return 1. So it will not go up to that. So it will here 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. So 5 4s are 20, and then so 3 2s will be the answer for me. First I will be getting the answer as 120. Okay, and then I will be having print fact of 3. So up to 3 means I will be having 3 into 2 into 1, that is 6. So if I am giving here another statement, print fact of 0. So then what will be my output? It will be 1. Okay, so this is the factorial program for finding the factorial of a particular number. So we have given that in the recursive function concept. So what does it do is, this function calls the same function itself. So function calls itself is called the recursive function. So it is used for finding the factorial. So I think you have known what is the factorial. We will be finding the factorial now in 11th standard. In maths you have learnt in the binomial distribution, NPR and NCR. In that you must have learned. So we will be having 1 into 2 into 3 etc. up to n, or n into n minus 1 into n minus 2 etc. up to 1. So this only the concept of factorial. So that only we have implemented here. Okay. So 5 factorial means 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. Okay, that only we have performed here. Okay, so this is the factorial notation. So this is the factorial concept. So only I have given the name as FACT. I think you remember that. So factorial, for finding factorial, we will be using the recursive function concept. Okay. Okay, so now we have find this. In case, suppose I am giving here finding the factorial of 2000 or 3000, what will it do? Will it perform? Yes, it has a particular limit only. Okay, up to 1000 only the loop will be get executed automatically. Though it is an infinite loop or the number is very high, so it will be going on executing the loop up to the 1000 times. Okay, so if you want to find the factorial, or if you want to find the if you want to execute the loop more than 1000 times, then you have to set. Okay, set the value. Set the limit value as 2000. If you set the argument value to be as 2000, iteration limit, okay, set iteration limit to be 2000 means then your the loop will be executed up to 2000 times. Otherwise, if you are not setting any values, by default the loop will be executed up to 1000 times. Okay, so you are clear with this? Okay, so we have seen the 4 types of functions. What are all the 4 types of functions? User defined function, built-in function, lambda function and recursive function. Then we learn here another new concept. This is we will be learning the another one function concept here. Let us see that. So we have learned the 4 types of function. Another one concept also is given. It is not a type, it doesn't belong to type of function, but you will see a new concept, that is composition of function. Okay, so composition of function. That is in maths you have learned the composition function, F composite G, F composite G, G composite H. Do you remember this? F composite G, G composite H. That is F of G of H. If you are given F of G of H. Okay, so this value, this output will be given as the input to this, and this output will be given as the input to this, isn't it? The same thing is performed in the composition of function. Okay, so the output of one function is given as the input to the another one. That is, if a function is returning a value, that return value is given as the input or argument to the next function. So that is the composition of function. So it is not given very deep, but we will be using one new function type. So if you are going to get a value in run mode, you will be using enter a number using the input function, isn't it? So we will be having here as the evaluate function. Let us see. So in Python prompt, if you are giving x is equal to evaluate input, enter a number, so if I given this, you know very well, instead of eval we will be giving int. So it means it will convert the particular into a integer, we have learned. So if you are using this function, what will be giving, you will be having is, it will ask us enter a number. So it will ask enter a number. So in the case, we will be giving one number 123, isn't it? So it will be displayed here 123. Okay, so you will be having just as such. In case, instead of giving a number, if I am giving an expression, it will evaluate that expression and it will give me the output. Okay, so when again in Python node, if I am having x is equal to evaluate of input, enter a number or enter an expression. Now what will it ask to me? It will ask me to enter an expression. So what is an expression I am giving? Let me give it as 12.0 plus 5.0 into 2. if I am giving an expression like this, simply I have given 12 plus 5 into 2. So, with as I am given in the float value, that is 0.0 I have given. So, what will be the output for this? 5 into 2 is 10, 10 plus 12 is 22. So, my answer will be 22. Clear? So, this is the, what is that? This is the function, what does it does. So, EVAL function do what expression we are given. So, it will just calculate or is that evaluate the function or the expression we have given here and it will give the answer. Okay. So, this only we call it as a composition of function concept. Only this EVAL function is alone given in your syllabus. Okay. So, today we have learned about the lambda function, that is lambda function or anonymous function. So, it is used for the particular concept, that is it will be using that for a simple function. And next we have learned the recursive function. You know very well, it's a function which calls itself, and we have learned another concept, that is composition of functions. Okay. So, with this the 7th chapter we have finished the types of functions. So, be clear with the types of functions, students. Thank you, students.